Hello guys, my name is Alex CORMONT and today I have the honor to be with the #1 relationship expert in Australia, Mark Rosenfeld. Hello Mark.
Alex, thank you for having me, sir. It is a pleasure to be here in beautiful
That's my
Miami
pleasure,
with you.
buddy. Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you so much for flying from Australia to Miami. Can you just introduce yourself to the French people and to the people who don't know you yet?
Yeah, so my name's Mark Rosenfeld and I've been coaching women throughout Australia and the world for about the last 5-6 years now. And you know, it came from my own background of major social anxiety.
Really?
I was completely withdrawn, had no women in my life, couldn't talk to women at all. And I started coaching men after I learned my own confidence. And then eventually, it's funny because a lot of men, you know, when they first come to a coach, they haven't honestly had sex in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's really about getting sex. And to be totally, you know, vulnerable from the get-go. I was a virgin when I started learning to connect with people. So it was never about sex for me. It was really about connection and meeting people. And so the first time about 5 years ago when a woman asked me for a program, I actually really resonated with that. And from there, it's just taken off. People have been so responsive. I've been so grateful. 250,000 subscribers, as you said, #1 ranked in Australia. And it's been a beautiful journey to spend time with people like Alex and the great experts around the world who are helping women and men, of course, as well, find love. And Alex really has values that I agree with. I'm very much about no games, purely authentic, raise yourself up, develop yourself, and then you will find the right person for you.
So the first question that I have for you is, how did you start becoming this guy who had some social anxiety to become an alpha male and a coach and someone who wants to share his advice and his knowledge?
Yeah, I had to put myself out there big time. So it was enough pain sort of stacked up from this loneliness I was feeling that eventually I just went, well, I'm just going to go out and I don't even care if I get rejected anymore. And after something like 1,500 rejections throughout just 1 year, I literally went out a couple of hundred nights. I started to get some confidence because I didn't care anymore. And then, long story short, I actually said, all right, I want to take the confidence further. So I started coaching men. And then, as I said, I wasn't really gelling with that. So I said, I want to go further again and started stripping of all things. Because I thought there's no better way to put yourself out there than to have to not wear pants in front of an audience.
That's really important.
That was kind of where I went to the other side and grew that confidence. Okay. And then, yeah, it went from there.
So me, I love to say that men, when they ask for coaching, they are looking for self-confidence, for being charismatic, for attracting girls. Yep. But the women that I'm coaching, when they contact me, it's because they have just one man in their mind. Do you see that often?
100%.
Really?
100%, yeah. It's much more common that a woman comes to me wanting to get that guy, the man she's truly after. And it kind of makes sense with evolution. When you look at the way men's and women's brains evolved, you know, for a woman, she had a lot of sexual options in her tribe. She had a lot of men that were happy to have sex with her, but it was the one man, the leader, the man with the resources that she said, if I can get that guy, my future progeny, my future life will be very safe.
And when you look at this situation, how do you help women to not be obsessed about a man, to not be anxious?
Not get too into it, yeah. So when I'm teaching confidence, there's a few things that I will look at. If a woman comes to me in the beginning saying, I can't get over this guy, or I'm super anxious, I just can't, I'm almost addicted. You know, it's like an addiction, right? The first thing is I want to look at, well, what is this guy triggering in you that your brain can't get enough of? Because there is a feeling there, a currency of some kind that your brain has gone, this guy will make me feel that if I can see him again. And he's the only source of it.
So it's like a projection. You're seeing your future. You're seeing yourself in the future with this man.
Oh, that's definitely part of it. Because the projection, for example, if I project and I'm projecting in this fantasy, I feel loved, I feel secure, I feel safe, I feel like everything is perfect. And it's those feelings. So it's, yes, the projection. And then what do I feel when I get to project? Like, oh, this lovely high. All those feelings are the real addiction underneath.
Okay, so step #1 is to understand exactly what they are feeling
what
in
are
their
you
mind.
feeling? Yeah, what does fantasizing about this guy or projecting, what does it allow you to feel? And then once they know that, I will go into a couple of different ways to help them feel that within themselves. This allows them to drop the obsession the obsessive element, and they say, well, I can feel it from him and that's great, and I can also access this within myself. And then you just have them wanting to be with a guy, not needing to, and they can go then want to be with a different guy if that man is not serving them and not putting in effort.
So my question now is, every woman that will look this video, that will watch this video, most of the time they are telling me, they are asking me, Alex, is it really possible for me? Do you think that every woman in this world can gain some self-confidence?
100%.
Is
Absolutely.
it possible for everyone?
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, for sure.
But they have to work on their past? Do you think they have to work on their experience?
That's a great question, because I used to do a lot of that and I don't do a lot anymore.
Why?
Because our stuff comes up in the present. And you can spend years with a therapist, and it's important that you do that. You know, therapy is fantastic, very important. But I, as a coach, am about creating results in the future from now onwards. So my only concern, the only time I really go back to the past, is if something right now in the present is blocking a client from taking action right now. Because if they're on the road, like I like to think of coaching as you're driving down the road, and when you cannot get to your goal, when you cannot achieve what you want, it's like the road is full of cars and there's lots of red lights everywhere. A coach's job is just to help you drive yourself down the road. So I will only go back to the past and clear something out if a client's got a major red light. Like let's say, for example, she says, oh, I want to open my heart to a man. So that's the road she wants to travel down. But the last time I opened my heart, I got burned and he cheated on me. That will often put up a red light at an intersection. So as a coach, that would be a scenario where sometimes I will go back and say, okay, well, how did this empower you? How do we make sure this is healed and cleared? And then they go driving down the green light and then their heart's open again. But unless something from the past is actually blocking them right now, you know, coaching's about achieving what's next. Let's not spend time looking back. Let's spend time taking action in the now to achieve the future.
And based on the action, because this is clearly my philosophy, when you do some actions, you have some opportunities and then some results will come to you.
Exactly. One of my favorite sayings, knowledge is nice, but action is life.
So what are the results that you're seeing with the people and the women you're coaching?
We're seeing it's phenomenal. It's confidence and it's them attracting great guys to their lives. So a lot of women come to me and they say, I have to have this relationship, you know, I need this particular guy. And honestly, sometimes I look at the situation and the guy's terrible, right? He's putting in no effort.
I've seen that a lot too.
They deserve better, right? So the first thing is they get really confident and centered within themselves, where they're in a great place.
Do you have a tip that you can share to the woman that to regain some self-confidence?
To regain some self-confidence. So there's a few ways that I'll do this. One of the most powerful is, I'm sure you've heard of the concepts feminine and masculine energy. And a lot of women come to me, they say, oh, I want to be more feminine. I want to be more feminine around a guy. And I say, oh, what does that mean? And they say, oh, I want to be more confident. I want to be more playful, more flirty, more relaxed. I'm like, awesome. That's really good. But what a lot of women do is to be more feminine, they say, oh, I automatically have to be less masculine. So I have to kind of push one side of me down and then bring the other side up. And I kind of think of the energies a bit more like a bike. So a bike that's moving forward, you have a masculine wheel and a feminine wheel. And when most people think of the masculine, what they're really talking about is a very immature or wounded version of the masculine. Like they're insecure, they're pushy, they're braggy. And women say, I don't want to be more masculine because I don't want to be insecure or I don't want to be pushy or braggy. But the true empowered masculine is like the pride lion, right? It's like this guy. Like he's very relaxed. He's not insecure, right? He's not being pushy or braggy. He's very relaxed, alpha guy. He feels safe. A lion spends most of its time sleeping, right? So because someone feels safe, when someone feels very safe and their masculine's in a good place, it actually allows their feminine to flourish as well. And this is even true for a woman. So I actually say, rather than pushing your masculine down, figure out how to empower it so you can feel safe, secure, and relaxed. And when you're relaxed, you'll be playful. When you're relaxed, you'll be flirty. When you're relaxed, you'll be more confident. There's no stakes. You're fine right where you are. You're relaxed. You've got both your masculine and feminine going. And then, because your feminine is naturally bigger, it'll just take over.
So there is no, basically what you're saying, there is no choice. It's when you do a choice that you're missing a part of yourself and missing self-confidence.
Exactly, exactly. A lot of women say, oh, I need the men to feel safe. And sex is actually a great example, because sex is often when a women feel most feminine, but they also feel very safe, very secure, very relaxed. So they've also got the masculine traits going as well. Of course, the guy is there to do that in that instance. But when the guy's not there, if you can still feel safe, secure, all these things, you'll be playful, you'll be happy because you'll be relaxed. You're good.
So, for example, I have coached a lot of women, they cannot be themselves in front of the men that they like. So they are putting a lot of pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
What can they do to relax, to let them have this masculine energy? Do you have a specific example maybe?
Yeah, there's a couple of things to this, and I do a lot of one-on-one coaching.
So please, go see his website. So if you speak English, go see his website. There's a lot of good products and also one-on-one coaching.
Yeah, come check it out. I do a lot of one-on-one. So depending on the woman, for example, if she's saying, oh, I can be totally myself around my friends, but as soon as I go and talk to a hot guy, I clam up.
Exactly.
The first thing is she's putting such pressure on herself and the interaction because she's putting this guy up on a pedestal, right? Like she sees a dude like this, right? And then she says, oh my God, if I was to be with him, this is like my dream guy. And they really don't know him, right? Like you know Alex, but if you see a random guy in a bar who's very attractive, it's easy to think, oh, he's attractive, maybe he's got a good job, he's perfect. And I think helping clients understand that what's perfect is the way he treats you. Like it's the way that he operates in a relationship. It's the way how consistent he is, how good his boundaries are. You've got to start to see attractive men as maybe potentials rather than a match right there. Because there's nothing he can do in the first 5 minutes that make him a good boyfriend. Like nothing. None of that stuff
it takes
comes
time
through.
to be a good boyfriend.
Yeah, everything you're looking at is superficial, outside stuff. So I'd really go, what actually makes a great guy? Because it's not looks, it's not money, it's not like what job he does. It's how he treats you when he's stressed. It's how good his boundaries are. It's whether or not he supports you and is interdependent rather than being dependent on you. It's all these things. And so when you remember it's all those things, you go, okay, he's just a good looking guy. You know, if I see a beautiful woman, it's like, I can appreciate that, but I have no idea if she'd make a good girlfriend or not.
That's a good point. It makes me smile because I've coached this morning a young lady and she asked me, Alex, how can I know if you will become a good boyfriend or not? Do you have some tips? Because me, it's like, I want him to do the first step, to call them, to ask them to go out and everything. That's really important in my philosophy. But what can you bring also? Because I know that you have some strong values on it.
I love this. You know, it's so easy. We start to, typically what we do is we look at chemistry and we're like, oh, do we have good chemistry? Oh, and then it's great, right? And then we start to think about compatibility. And that's like how your personal values mix together. And that's important too. And then if all that happens, a year later, we start to think, well, is this person actually good at relationships? And my tip would be, if you want to know if someone will make a good partner, bring some of those relationship skills and start looking at them from the very beginning. And so you might say, well, Mark, how do I know those things? And I'd say, all right, well, for example, candid honesty. That's an important relationship skill. So does the guy be candidly honest, even on a first date? Do you get the feeling that like he's just telling what's honest to him without taking responsibility for your feelings? Another would be purpose. So is the guy on his purpose? Because it's very hard to have a relationship, right, with a man who's not on his purpose.
It's really difficult because he can go from right to left. He can tell you a lot of things, but don't act. So actions and words needs to match. And that's only men when they are on their purpose. I love it.
Exactly, so important. Respect, huge. That's a huge relationship skill, right? So ask yourself, even at the end of the first date, do I feel like he treated me like he treated best friend, like we're equal? Or do I feel like he's a bit on a pedestal? Or do I feel I'm a bit on a pedestal? Or you can't know a year down the line if he's gonna, if he gets scared and it's gonna totally treat you badly. You don't know everything, but you can already get a sense of, well, does he treat me like an equal? Do I feel like I'm respected, like I'm on par with him? That's a good early relationship skill sign.
You know what I've seen with the women that I coach, it's most of the time they feel, so they have the intuition to know that this man was not that good, but they hope that in the future it will change. You know, like, oh, but maybe next time it will change, and next time and next time, and then they are in a relationship with, like in a bad relationship with a narcissist or with someone which is bad.
Change a man. Can't. It's not your responsibility. Don't do it.
Yeah, so don't let this hope thinking that your happiness will come tomorrow. You need to start to be happy today. It's really important. Mark, can you tell us a little bit about your products? What are you offering on your website? Because I know that there's a lot of women here that will want to jump into your product.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I can do one-on-one coaching with you, but what I also have available is 3 hours a month with me, one-on-one in a group format inside my Empowerment Academy. So for those of you who are native English speakers or fluent in English, the Empowerment Academy is where I have my courses, my whole online hub, and where you can come online 3 hours a month to do one-on-one questions with me. So I've got a full course on dating, mastering modern dating to find the one. A full course on something I'm very passionate about, which is understanding men and getting your life in the right place. And then a full, beautiful new course I recorded called Feminine Magnetism Mastery. It's all about being in your empowered feminine. So as Alex has talked about, you can be in that feminine, confident energy around anyone, anytime. So all of that's in the academy.
That's things that you need to learn at school. We should learn this at school, but this is like this one is going wrong, honestly. That's why we are on YouTube. That's why we are doing this.
Yeah, right.
So I will give you all the links in the description, just right below. Go click on it, subscribe to his amazing YouTube channel. You will receive a lot of tips, and I'm sure it can change your love life. Mark, thank you so much.
But you are phenomenal. How good is it? If you haven't subscribed for any reason, make sure you do check out his website. He is just absolutely love it.
You have something to do now for me. Next time when I will do a big event in France, I want you to come and to be on stage with me.
I would love that.
Really?
I love that. Absolutely.
That's a promise in front of the camera, man. So you have to be here.
I'm done.
Because I know that French women, they will love your advice.
I would love that.
That sounds good. Thank you so much, guys. And if you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section. We will be here together to respond to your comments. And I will see you soon for a new video. Bye-bye, guys. Ciao.